sister girl on films. You don't wanna miss a thing, better stay tuned in. So lay back, get into the vibe, in the mood. Real reviews from a sister's point of view. Trailer reactions, movies and TV. So entertaining and authentic, believe me. So roll that footage, I'm ready to chill. Time to hang out with my sister girl. Hey, sister girl on films. Hey, sister girl on films. Hey.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. It's your girl, Sister Girl on Films. And as you can tell by the title, I am doing something completely different on my channel. If you click this video, more than likely you're probably new to my channel. So typically I do trailer reactions, movie reviews, TV series reviews every now and again. But I've never done any content like this. And so, like I said, as you tell by the title, I will be comparing and giving my thoughts on Ancestry.com, 23andMe, and African Ancestry. And I know you are wondering, especially if you're a subscriber, like, girl, why are you doing this video? So first and foremost, happy Juneteenth. If you're watching this video on the day I uploaded it, it is Juneteenth. So happy Black Independence Day here in the U.S. So first and foremost, that is one of the reasons why I decided to do this video today. But also, I have been wanting to do this video for a while now, simply because I get people that ask me about my experience doing these DNA tests, what I thought about it. They're interested in doing it. And a lot of times people get flack for doing these type of tests because you have naysayers who are like, oh, you're giving these people your DNA, blah. Shut up. Just shut your face. And that is directed to anybody. If you say that in my comment section, I'm just blankly gonna tell you now, just shut up. Like, we understand the ramifications of doing these DNA tests. So chill out. We get it. Also, throughout the video, the guy that mows my lawn decided to mow it today of all days. It's super hot, but I guess he knows something I don't. I think he's done, but if not, and you hear him in the background, I'm sorry, y'all. I'm just gonna let him do his thing till he leaves anyway. So I just decided, you know, let me just do this video so that I can answer some of the questions, and maybe not as much as answer a lot of questions, but just give my experience, share my results, what I think like the pros and cons are, and ultimately which one I think is the best. Okay. So yeah, so if you're interested in my thoughts on Ancestry.com versus 23andMe versus African Ancestry, then stay right there. We're gonna get right into this video. So enough of all that, let's get to it. So first and foremost, I'm gonna get into the part that's probably like the most interesting to most people, and that is the price. You wouldn't imagine that having your DNA tested and having it compared to other samples, it's not going to be cheap. It's not. But surprisingly, it's not as expensive as one might think. So I'm going to rank things in order of 1 to 3. 1 being the most affordable, 3 obviously being the most expensive. So number 1 for me will have to be, it's kind of a tie, but I'll say Ancestry.com. Only reason is because, like, right now, as of me recording this video, they are running a sale on their DNA kits, and that is just the basic DNA kits. You can get upgraded like health reports and all that stuff. But if you want just the basic report, right now it's $59. Okay, $59. That's pretty good. The sale ends on June 20th, 2021. So I don't know when you're watching this, but that's the price as of today. And they do run sales. All these companies actually run sales, especially around the holidays. But yeah, so the reason why, excuse me, I'm sorry. So the reason why, to me, Ancestry, I would say it's number 1 in terms of price, is what you get for the price. So because Ancestry has been around for so long, their database is a lot more extensive than the other their competitors. And also they have a lot of census records and a lot of public records that you can really dig into. And like I said, if you're the historian of your family, or you're just interested in kind of finding out more things about your family that you didn't know, Ancestry is probably gonna give you the biggest bang for your buck. Now, the thing I don't like is that In order for you to really kind of do that deeper research, you have to do a monthly membership. And I forget how much it is a month. You can go to their website and check it out. But I kind of feel like if I'm paying for the DNA test, then I feel like you should have at least be given like a year free membership or something, just so you can further explore that versus having to pay the $59 or $99, what it regularly is, in addition to a monthly fee. But that's just my personal opinion. 23andMe right now, again, as of today, they have a sale going, and right now their DNA kit is $79, but it is also originally $99. So the same as Ancestry. Not as many bells and whistles in terms of like being able to look up census records, birth records, things like that. But you still get the DNA analysis. Whew. Now the last one, African Ancestry, is right now it's $269. Yes, $269. They're running a sale right now for, I think, Father's Day, but it's originally $299. So yeah, African Ancestry is the most expensive. I'll get into a little bit later why I'm okay with the price, but I know a lot of people are not okay with that price. So let's go ahead and get into my results, which I know is probably really the for real reason why you tuned into this video. So the process is not difficult at all. With 23andMe and Ancestry.com, you have to actually spit into a tube to send in your DNA analysis. With African Ancestry, you just do a cheek swab and submit it. So I did like that experience a lot better because I'm not a fan of the whole spit. Like, it doesn't bother me. I just think overall it's just kind of gross. But yes, I'm also put my results on the screen over somewhere so you guys can see them. My results for Ancestry.com and 23andMe were pretty similar. They do not do specific like your maternal DNA or your paternal DNA like African Ancestry. They take the collective of your DNA and they just give you like an overall overview. So as you can tell on the screen, with Ancestry.com, 30% of my DNA was found in Nigeria, 19% Cameroon, Congo, rest in Bantu peoples were the top two, and then Mali was third. Ancestry used to separate it by continent, but they don't anymore. They just kind of put it all together, which I don't necessarily like, but for some people it might not be a big deal. It's at the bottom. It is the highest is 5% Scotland, which me and my family, we kind of assumed would be the case just because of certain characteristics that we share, like red hair, freckles, height, things like that. And then so we look at 23andMe, Sub-Saharan African, so it breaks it up into those continents now on 23andMe, which I like. So I am 87.4% African. 78.7% of that is West African. Again, Nigeria being 29.6%. Ghanaian. Am I saying that right, y'all? Ghana, Liberia, and Sierra Leone is 25.1%. I'm going to get to this in a minute, y'all, when I do my comparison. I bring up African Ancestry. But this actually is, I'm moving ahead of myself. Anyway. And Senegambian and Guinean, I know I'm saying this wrong and I'm sorry, it's 12.2%. And then, for those of you that might be interested, the European is essentially the same as Ancestry, kind of, sort of, with it being 10% Northwestern European, with 7.9% being British and Irish. So like I said, kind of knew that. Now with African Ancestry, this is why earlier when I said the price point is not an issue for me, because the results I got from Ancestry and 23andMe, while yes, they were informative, just being told essentially that my ancestors were from West Africa. Well, I'm an African American. I was born and raised in Indiana. Like, I am well aware that my ancestors were from West Africa and Central Africa. Like, I'm well, the slave trade, how all that worked. So I know how we got here for the most part. You know, I don't know the overall story, but I know at least where we came from. So to me, if the only information I had was that they were possibly from Nigeria, in that area, I mean, yeah, that gives me information, but there are so many ethnic groups in Africa. There are many different tribes in Africa, all that. And so for me, that's what pushed me to do African Ancestry, because when I originally got my Ancestry results back in I think I first took it in 2015, 2016. So y'all, it's been years ago. And let me just say, it was years ago. And then since then, I think I got 2 updates on Ancestry where my percentages changed. Because when I first took it back in 2015, 2016, it had Ghana as number 1. And I'm going to put that picture on here somewhere if I can find it. So you guys can see the difference. It's old school, so it might not be good quality. But Ghana was number 1. Nigeria, I think, was second. And it was just kind of all over the place. And so as you saw updated today, Ghana wasn't even listed for Ancestry. So, and y'all, let me correct that. So it is listed, but it went from 31% to 3%, which is a huge change in my opinion. You know, and I felt like, well, damn, I feel like I'm not really getting the real story. So that is what prompted me to do African Ancestry. I saw reviews of people talking about it, but not a whole lot. So I was like, let me just do it for myself. And yes, it is an expensive test, but I really wanted to know, like, where are my people from? Like, not just West Africa. I know that. Not just Central Africa. I know that. But like, where? And so I will put the images of my certificates, because you get certificates with African Ancestry of where my ancestry comes from. And you see the smile, I'm just excited about it. But women can only do the maternal DNA for their mother's side. So when you do the maternal DNA, if you're a woman watching this, then your results are good for everybody on your mother's side of your family, literally. From your siblings, cousins, aunts, uncles, grandparents, like everybody. So if you do the maternal for your mother's side, then that's for everybody, okay? Now, for women, we can't, because our fathers don't pass down that paternal DNA to us. We can't do that test with African Ancestry. So you would have to have your brother, if y'all share the same father, your brother would have to do the test. Your father would have to do the test. Like a cousin or something like that. If y'all share the same grandfather, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? So I did my maternal ancestry test for my mother's side, and when the results came, y'all, I could have just fell out and cried, honey. So I share maternal ancestry with the Balanta people currently living in Guinea-Bissau and the Timni people of Sierra Leone. Now, the reason why I said when I saw Sierra Leone and I forget what I said, 23andMe, but when Liberia, and it was one more place, I think it was Guinea or maybe Ghana. When I saw that on there, it blew my mind because it wasn't on Ancestry. And I mean, it is if you kind of like zoom in, but the fact that that showed up on 23andMe like it did, and it just confirmed what I had already known from taking African Ancestry. So after we got the results from my mom's maternal side. We weren't able to do the paternal side because we don't have a man on my mother's side of the family that's able to do the test, unfortunately. We have a lot of women on that side of our family, and it is what it is. So then after I told my father about our experience and talked to him about it, he was like, oh, wow, that's pretty cool. And I'm like, great idea. Let me just give my dad this as a gift for him. Because he's really into history, things like that, our family story. So he did the paternal African ancestry test, and we found out that we share. First he did. I'm sorry, y'all. First he did the maternal African ancestry test, and we found out that we share maternal ancestry with the Bubi or Bubby people of Bioko Island and the Tikar, Hausa, and Fulani people of Cameroon, which is super amazing. And then about a year later, because it is expensive, okay, your girl is not balling like that, he took the paternal African ancestry test, and we found out that we share paternal ancestry with the Kru people living in Liberia. So it's been a great experience. Being able to give my parents just that gift. My mom's not that much into that type of stuff, but my dad is. So giving him the chance to really actually find that pride in knowing where our people actually come from, being able to understand the story of what might have happened with our ancestors. We're not 100% sure, obviously, but just being able to trace it back to, where our roots are actually from. To me, it is just priceless, honestly. But if we're going to put a price on it, I guess it's $2.99. But yeah, y'all. So one thing I forgot to mention earlier, Ancestry.com and 23andMe, they both have an app that you can download so you can look at your results. 23andMe encourages you to do that because they give you updates about your sample. Ancestry, I don't know if they had an app when I did my DNA test with them, so they might do updates and all that stuff too, but I'm not quite sure. But I like the 23andMe app way more than Ancestry. It has articles on there. It also gives you like some of the trait stuff, like food sensitivities, allergies. Like if you would genetically, like if you have dimples, then that's in your DNA, stuff like that. If you're interested in stuff like that, you think that would be fun to learn about, 23andMe might be the best bet for you, just because you get more interesting stuff and it's kind of more fresh and more vibrant. The app just looks better. I'll just be honest. Ancestry.com, their app, I mean, it's not giving you anything additional that you just can't find on their website. It doesn't look as good, honestly, so I don't really use the app, and it's not really rated well in the App Store either. And African Ancestry, they don't have an app. That's the one thing I will say is the downside with African Ancestry is that although you do get to find out the tribe or ethnic group that you share ancestry with, they don't really, you have to do a lot of research on your own. And again, I feel like if I pay almost $300 for something, then I would love it if they might do that now because it's been like a year or two since I've actually used their services, but it would be nice if they sent you like a did you know sheet about the people that you share ancestry with. Here are some common things that they do. Here's some foods. Here's a little bit of history, things like that. I think that would be awesome. At most, they tell you to join their Facebook page, and then connect with other people to find out. But I'm like, dang, like for $300, you at least give me that information. Just saying. So yeah, y'all. So if I had to rank Ancestry.com, 23andMe, and African Ancestry, overall, I would rank 23andMe as number one for me. African Ancestry, well, no. Yeah, African Ancestry would be number two. And then Ancestry.com will be number three. Just factoring in price, what you get for the money, the experience, things like that. But yeah, y'all, so let me know in the comments below. If you have any questions, I feel free to answer them for you. My camera is about to die on me. But let me know if you want to see a more detailed video on one of these sites. I'll be more happy to do that. And be on the lookout for a Conjuring 3 review on my channel coming up this week. And as always, y'all, like this video, share this video, subscribe to my channel. And I'm going to see y'all next time for something else. And again, have a happy, amazing Juneteenth. I'm going to see y'all next time for something else. Holla.
Sister girl on films. Hey.